line in to, or from default to line in, it cranked the volume way up, so I had to turn it down in game.
This must be the door, Bassam.
You should be hearing dialogue and stuff like that.
Alright, look. Alright, real quick note, your breathing is also coming through your microphone, so you may want to adjust that a little.
What's coming?
Uh,
What can you hear? What is it?
You're breathing through the microphone.
Okay. Okay, how's that? Should be. I just moved my mic further away.
Sounds good.
Sounds better now.
More in distance. So. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I actually forgot to adjust the title. Let me do that real quick.
All right. Yeah. All right. We should be good to go.
All right, give me a second here.
Chat is saying that the sound is really quiet.
Yeah, game sound is a bit quiet, but it's okay, I guess. I don't know how the final mix is going to sound, so I'm just talking about game audio.
They say they can't hear us other than Yaga.
Test 1 2 3.
Testing.
Test.
Game sounds too quiet. Or game sounds quiet too.
Back up! You're making me so mad! Guards! You'll be sorry!
Game is quiet, but voices are really quiet. Okay. Yeah, they're saying... Okay.
Adjusting it.
Yeah, should be easily fixed.
Says voice is good now.
Voice is good now? Great.
Yeah, that's what someone in the chat says.
Yeah, the game's volume varies quite a bit depending on what's happening. Sometimes
Especially
it's
in the last
quiet,
mission.
other times it's extremely loud.
Oh, alright, how about now?
Testing.
Test 1 2 3.
Test.
Game is super quiet. I actually can't turn up the game any further. Can you turn up the game on your end, Vic?
I can, but it will be loud for me. I don't know if I'll be able to hear.
You can turn
let
your
me turn
global...
up my Discord volume as well.
You can turn down your global volume.
I'll do that, and then...
Well, it's a stealth game.
Okay, test 1 2. Test 1 2. I doubled the game volume. Might need to turn it up a little more.
I think the game... Okay, alright.
Game sounds good now.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, I think we should be ready to go.
Right? Alright, we're ready.
Excellent. Well, I wish you good luck on your run. Well,
thank you.
Hopefully not too much marathon.
We ready on... We ready on timer?
Yes, indeed.
Alright. Game starts in 3, 2, 1, go. So, this is Thief 2.
Better check my map.
Was released in 2001, I think.
2000.
2000?
This
Right.
must be the door Basso mentioned.
It's a stealth action-adventure game, I guess.
Oh. Better stop and check out that light around the corner.
It's usually about a man going around stealing stuff and getting caught up in things he shouldn't have poked his head into. And in the speedrun, it's about a very confused man who occasionally breaks into houses and then knocks people out.
Well, that's her door. Guess Basso can
I guess that's the most accurate
No.
description I can master.
Much. That sums it up perfectly. So, like, in this mission, we're supposed to rescue our friend Basso's
Always too well-lit.
fiancée, Genevieve, and they're trying to elope, but Genevieve is a strong, independent woman, so she's actually going to rescue herself. We basically knock on her door and she leaves for us. We don't actually have to do anything. Normally Basso would go and, like, save her, but as you can see, they're happily reunited.
Which is funny because technically she has a key to her own room inside of her room.
Yeah.
So she could really leave whenever she wanted to, but she just
She's
doesn't.
not actually trapped there.
Story-wise, this game is just picking up because Basso was a person from the first game, which we already rescued out of prison, and now we are stealing from a dock where supposedly lots of very valuable things are being stored because Garrett has to pay his rent. That's all there's to it, really.
Yeah, the story of this mission is basically Garrett needs to pay his rent. That's it.
Exactly.
There's no pretense about it whatsoever.
And what you're seeing right now is a series of engine manipulations, basically. You saw earlier that Jake was opening a locked door from the inside while being on the outside. That's because the dark engine, works a bit funny in certain ways. You can, if you lean in, you can open certain, or you can fob certain objects, manipulate certain objects through walls because you can reach through it. Because technically your arms aren't physical objects, you can just manipulate them. It's very difficult to explain, a bit technical, but in essence, what you just saw there is someone just leaning in and opening a lock from the outside while having the right key for it. It's difficult to say.
Yeah. Basically, the using items doesn't follow the constraints of things as menial as walls. So here, I'm actually going to take a route that most people have probably never seen me do before, just so I can show off an Easter egg.
Oh, using the nice old strats there.
This is the 2004 strats.
This is before my time.
So yeah, there's dancing zombies here.
This is part of expert route, by the way, as well.
Yeah. So this is... We're technically out of bounds right now. The roof is not actually real. So I'm going to try to make this jump. And I think I made it. Okay, yeah, I made it.
Real quick.
I didn't
game
practice
seems
that
to
at all,
be
by the
stuttering.
way, so that was pretty sketchy.
The game seems to be stuttering a bit on Steam. Bitrate are you streaming at?
It shouldn't be stuttering. I tested it earlier and it seemed fine.
It's stuttering now a bit, that's true.
You can use a constructor.
I don't really know what that could be. Like, the game is running smoothly on my end.
It's probably just the internet connection to upload it onto the stream. So, what bitrate are you streaming at?
Oops. Yeah. Oops. I'm currently playing with about 1/3 of a second of sound lag because of the computer that I'm playing on, which is really bad. And so it's basically forcing me to play without sound because none of the audio cues that I usually use are working. It's pretty good. Yeah, I'm not sure why I would be cutting out, because we streamed Resident Evil, like, the other day, and we didn't seem to stutter at all with exactly the same settings, so... We do have a 5-minute section coming up where I will be able to try and fix it.
What's going on? The city watch are all over the place.
Sometimes it's running smoothly, and some other times it's just stuttering for some reason.
The audio stutter is worse for me than anything else.
Guards! Thief!
Oops, that is why I quick saved there.
Help someone!
Thanks.
There's an intruder here.
Well, technical difficulties aside, as you can see, Jake has been running sideways almost the entire game, and that is because Garrett actually runs faster when you are pressing forward and a side key. So strafe and forward is faster than just regular forward, which is a bit counterintuitive, but it's just how this works. So majority of the time you will see speedrunners run sideways to get an advantage because it's a lot faster than just regular running.
Yeah, strafe running is 20% faster than regular running.
Remember, men, his name is Garrett. Consider him armed and dangerous.
Also, a few things you are going to see in this speedrun are due to the fact that I think 2012 the game got an engine revamp. I used to call it the miracle patch because it just sort of appeared. The story is a bit interesting to that because the official game forums they are being used by the community since the game came out, but the French section of that game has been well, not really neglected, but at one point just somebody posted a link to a supposed patch, and everyone was skeptical because it could be just scam or malware or whatever. But someone genuinely took the time to revamp the engine and then just posted one post in the French section of the official forums to release his results, which is hilarious when you think about it. But that's what we're playing on right now because in its original form, the game would not be playable on modern systems because of how the engine works.
Yeah, some guy just took, like, his own time to write a new engine for this game. Just think about that.
Fine from out here.
So, this is why almost no one runs this game. This is a 5-minute unskippable dialogue.
Interesting
So,
every time.
yeah, it's unskippable, and there's also an RNG element to it, which someone can explain.
Yeah, so basically at the end of this 5-minute conversation coming up, Jake will get a key location. The key can be in any of 9 locations. And normally, like, the best key you can get is in the factory area, where we have to make a copy of the key anyway, so it stands to reason it's the fastest possible key to get. The worst one would be the East Tower and the West Tower. East Tower has a good chance of killing the run completely by killing Jake, basically. So avoid that one at all costs.
Not that we have a choice, but it's a marathon, so we're gonna get East Tower.
So I think I can just say, like, the key locations are factory area, then there's East and West Tower, then there's the key beside the pulpit in the church, then the closet near the pulpit, then there's the office on the 2nd floor of the church, and then there's shed on the roof, and of course acolytes' quarters and guards' quarters are all the key locations.
And they're not too different in terms of time, but East and West Tower are by far the worst. and factory is by far the best.
Absolutely.
So I actually have to stay here by this door. If I stray too far from the door, the game runs a check to see if you're within a certain distance of the door, and if you're not, it just fails the mission. So I have to stay here. I can't go and accomplish other things while this is playing.
Also, it's very interesting to note that the way how the sound works in this game is that sometimes you hear things louder and sometimes you hear things more quiet. That's because when you lean in to a door, it basically plays as if you are pushing your ear up to the door, so the audio for dialogue is getting really loud.
So you can see that here. It's like I can barely hear this conversation right now, but if I lean up against it, it gets
Exactly.
much louder.
Story-wise, we're at the point where
Yes,
we are
this
getting
is a Speedrun
introduced
segment.
to the fanatical sect of this game. Last time it was the Hammerites, and this time it is people called the Mechanists, who are a splinter group of the Hammerites, and they believe in the same god, but somehow that god is somehow different for the Mechanists than it is for the Hammerites. It's a bit technical. But in essence, we are being introduced to the super weapon of this game, which we are not even aware of. The main reason Garrett is going there is to eavesdrop on Sheriff Gorman Truitt, who apparently had been set to hunt Garrett down. And Garrett wants to know who is paying him to do that.
And it's at this point in the game, the Mechanists are not really the quote-unquote bad guys. You don't know that they're super evil yet, although it should be relatively obvious.
Exactly. For Garrett, they are just another fanatical sect, like the Hammerites, and he has a tendency to just try to avoid these as much as possible.
I also want to say that about like half of the glitches that exist in this game were found in this one little corner, because it's literally just time spent where runners can mess around with their inventories and do all kinds of weird stuff.
Firstly, I did secure
So I actually need to listen pretty closely to the final part of this conversation, because it's where he tells me where the key is.
Yeah, it'll play back a part of Sheriff Truitt's conversation, and then he will reveal the key location shortly after.
Could bring him that or worse if ever made public. Now, behold my machine. I've used the tariff's very words even as they moved through the air today.
This is some good con dialogue, though.
And I can supply them. Vagabonds, street scum, prostitutes, those who will not be missed by anyone of consequence.
With his voice thus preserved, Truitt dare not betray me, or he'll have the scandal he fears so much. Brother Fegan, thou wilt see to it that this wax cylinder machine
Alright, here we
gets
go.
safely to the bank on the morrow. You will find the safety deposit box key in the west tower.
Oh my
Oh,
Two marathons,
well,
both of those
marathon
towers.
luck.
That's how we know it's
Who
a
would have
marathon.
thought?
It's,
So that's the second worst key
it's
location,
got
I
to be a
think.
tower. It's, yes, second worst. It's not the furthest away. That's something, I guess, but it is quite dangerous. This is especially scary because with the audio delay, I can't tell if I've actually properly mantled or not. Okay, I am getting quite a little bit of lag right now. I'm not sure why.
It's a bit laggy on stream as
Because
well.
this,
It started stuttering again.
yeah. It's just intermittent, yeah. This computer is absolutely terrible. I'm running this on like basically a potato. Not out of choice, but out of necessity. So I have to make a wax impression of this key. I don't know why these people are in weird places.
No big secret.
Never seen that before.
One supplying Sheriff Chewart with those.
I guess
machines.
lag has its merits in this case. Game objects in this engine can be very screwed up if your game lags, because DrawMat doesn't know where to put stuff when your level isn't properly loading. So that sometimes leads to very hilarious things like people stuck in walls and those little combat bots being completely out of place. All sorts of hilarity ensues when lag is happening.
So this is pretty dangerous. I can't have an archer be shooting at me while I return this key.
The work here is done.
Otherwise, she will knock me off the ladder, and I'd probably die. But looks like we made it. That's, like I said, that's the second worst key you can get, so it's a big time loss, and it's also much harder to execute.
And now, Garrett is going to break into a bank.
Yeah. And it's one of the few missions where we don't have a loot goal, for some reason.
Because there isn't actually that much loot to be going around in this bank. Counterintuitively.
So this bank robbery is much more Reservoir Dogs than, you know, the Thomas Crown affair.
Something
Pretty much just
important.
blowing everything up.
Something important Jake just did there. He dropped 2 mines next to the guard bot, and that will actually disable or kill the guard bot. So it's pretty important for the way back, because that bot can really kill you fast.
Yeah. They do the most damage out of any enemy in the game.
Basically, they shoot bombs at you, and when you are running towards an object that's flying towards you that's going to damage you anyways, you are just getting more damage, which means you can die instantly if you run into an arrow or if you run into a bomb, and that's the reason why that bot just has to go. Otherwise, there's a real chance of Jake dying there.
What a weird contraption.
So I actually dropped the safety deposit box key that we made in the last mission. We don't actually need it, so just to clean up my inventory, I dropped it. Even though that was the entire point of the last mission, I just dropped it. And this was rerouted pretty recently, using those
go ahead.
tunnels. This part can be a little bit dangerous, depending on which guards decide to show up here. Luckily, he had his back to me. Oops. And as you can see, the bot is disabled.
And you got the archer. That could be important.
Yeah.
Some people in this city are too rich for their own good. Lucky they have me.
Yeah, the archer is another random rogue element in this, because he can fish you out of the air when you're jumping down from this power structure. He can literally wreck you while you are falling. He's shooting aimbot arrows at you. That's the only way to describe it, and then you just die in midair sometimes even.
Yeah, the archers in this game are unreasonably accurate. They lead you extremely precisely, and it takes a lot of skill to dodge them. So I'm gonna do the swaggy exit. Oh, nice, there's no bots here. So this actually ends the mission, because this considers us as being on the roof, and our objective was to leave the bank. So we escaped
Saves
somehow.
like a second or two.
Yeah, Garrett is just using his powers of
I think that only saves
osmosis to go through the
But
roof.
it's, like,
What's the problem?
and it's almost fell there. So this is by far the riskiest part of the run.
My baby brother does better than that. Bad day for you.
Right now, he is baiting guards to open that closed door for him. Otherwise, you would have to get a key and go all the way around, and technically that double doors right there is your exit and not your entrance. And since he's able to bait the guards by shooting arrows into the door, thus creating a loud noise, he makes them open the door for him. Which is very convenient because that's the way we have to go.
That actually went really well because those guards behind the doors that open it for him, they can take random patterns. Sometimes they won't be near the door, so they won't hear the arrows hitting the door, so they won't open it. Which means you have to quick load it or restart the mission, which is a massive time loss in the speedrun, obviously. So I would say this is probably one of the more decisive parts of the run.
So there's one of the most idiosyncratic dialogues coming up, in my opinion. This part gave me a little bit of trouble in practice. Oops. I need this guy to lunge at me. There we go.
Guards can easily body block you in this game, and if you're getting body blocked, you just get sandwiched, and they will very quickly kill you if that happens. So it's lucky that happened just now. Many a run died to this.
And Garrett is like, I better keep a low profile, or else everyone will pin me as the killer, as the entire mansion full of guards chases us through the murder scene.
Yeah, he's not the most inconspicuous, Steve.
At least not in the speedrun he is. Remember when I said that we are playing a very confused man who breaks into houses and occasionally steals things? That's what I meant by that.
Lieutenant Mosley.
Yeah, this is Burglar 2, the Metal Age.
This mission, by the way, is one of the most rage-worthy, at least when you're playing it casually. And, in this mission, we have to tail someone, a woman called Lieutenant Mosley, who has a letter that we are intercepting. She will stop at random intervals and just look back, and if she sees you tailing her, the mission will fail. There's a similar mission in Thief 1, where you have to tail 2 assassins. Also, you can do that without her noticing, which is hilarious.
No reaction.
Alright, so...
Also, the reason Jake shot a water arrow at Lieutenant Mosley just there was because the guards in this game have 3 stages of alert, I believe. And that puts her into the first stage of alert. So she will just, like, give a random dialogue line, like, is something there? And she will not turn around at that interval, saving us a few seconds.
No reaction.
Who's there? Speak up.
Yeah, you can shoot water arrows at her head, I think. She won't react at all. She's not very aware.
And funnily enough, this mission, if you thought I was over once she drops her letter, no, it isn't. Oh, what happened there? Your arrow just disappeared.
Just despawned.
Just dark engine things.
Yeah.
Once she drops her letter, Garrett is supposed to read it and then wait for some other courier to pick it up. That other courier is a pagan, and he will take his sweet, sweet time. But something interesting has been found out, which I'm not going to spoil. You will have to see for yourself.
Yeah.
And that makes speedrunning easier.
It totally breaks the sequence of the game and the plot entirely, but you can just lob things, lob objects at her.
Drafty here. No wonder they keep going out all the time.
That's an interesting thing too. In this engine, lots of things are solid only for Garrett, but not for anybody else.
Thanks, Jeeves. I'll try and punch a boulder in this run. I think I have an opportunity to. So yeah, you just wait for her to drop her letter now.
First frame pickup.
Yes, we got it.
I doubt you dropped a note by accident.
So there's exactly one frame where you can pick up her letter before it starts falling to the ground. You can't pick things up when they're moving, like, vertically. So I'm actually going to save here. And that
This
wasn't
is the
good
man
enough.
who is supposed to pick up your letter. So what happened there was if you grab the letter, read it, and then just keep it in your inventory, you can run to the exit without this man ever having to interact with the letter at all.
Where did he go?
Because apparently the game thinks it's okay if Garage just keeps the letter and carries it to the exit.
So that pagan was supposed to be attacked by Mechanus, and this is supposed to be his blood. That never happened, but we're following his trail of blood anyway.
True. Because pagans and mechanists are mortal enemies in the world of Thief. It also ties back into that first game with the trickster god and the builder and the Hammerites. It's complicated.
I'm trying to find an opportunity where I can punch a boulder, but I don't know if that I can use. Oh, please, mantle. Thank you.
I think you can pick one up on the way to
Yeah.
the ritual site.
Failed one gin jump.
So we call this the face in Thief 2 speedrunning. It can be really annoying, but it was really good, luckily.
Looks like I'm still on the right track.
Yeah, you were up over like before she started her dialogue line, so that's pretty fast.
So they removed bunny hopping on flat ground in this game, but it still kind of works if you're on a slope. You have to press jump at the exact frame that you land. And unfortunately, I didn't get any good hops because this spacebar on this keyboard has a lot of resistance, so it's very hard for me to time it. Coming up is the hardest skip of the game, or the hardest trick at least. So we're gonna try and get it first try. And there we go.
Nice. Good job.
So you're basically just preserving your momentum there by using a slow fall potion to launch yourself and skip a huge part of the level.
Technically, it's a repeat of something that is usually used in the mission Framed, where he was jumping over the river, and that one involves an invisibility potion as well. And we didn't see that this time because he was showing us the zombies.
I went for a
But usually you jump off and grab hold of a lamp to pull you over the gate, while there is a camera with turrets looking at you. It's very intense.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we didn't get to see that.
And if you miss
Also,
it, it's run over.
Combo hype. Next level.
So, coming up is Life of the Party. And this is the best level in the game, and the best level in any Thief game. And we met the donation incentive for the Archer conversation. So, basically, we're gonna see two groups of archers get into a fight. And I want chat to vote on who they think will win, the red guards or the purple guards. So get your votes in now, because it's random whether who wins.
I'm gonna say red.
I gotta go with purple. I think purple is
I'm going
usually
to go
has
red.
the advantage.
Hell yeah.
Okay,
Team
so
Red.
I like underdogs. Listen to the conversation carefully, because it's basically Stephen Russell talking to himself.
Yeah.
2 or 3 times, I believe.
We'll boil his knickers. Oh, mighty fine words coming from a knock-kneed, inbred page boy such as you. Our good master really wouldn't be caught near that.
Oh, I hadn't factored in the height advantage the purple have. This could be a touch and go.
At the end of a halberd. How dare you defile the name of someone so good and virtuous as the Lady Van Vernon? Our lady is a saint among mortal women. An angel so pure the heavens couldn't hold her. Ah, your lady, an angel? You're lucky that keeps aren't bashing down her door for stealing their clientele. Why, just last night, we're out back, warming up the stable boy. Such slander will not be tolerated while we're on watch. You'd best run and rescue your helpless limp lord before he flounders in his own vomit, or wakes up naked in a hen coop. Scurry off, or he'll require some unnecessary ventilation. Is that a threat, you shriveled old maids? You gonna prick us with your
This is still hilarious.
on this side of the street.
Best conversation in the
We
game.
shoot like soldiers, so don't make promises your arrows can't keep. You got too far this time, you camel man a tunic-wearing mollycoddle! An arrow in the throat that'll shut you up! Have that thing!
Oh, it's too good.
Go Red, go!
Oh, one of them is shooting me. What the hell?
Yeah, bait them,
Oh,
so Red will
gosh.
win.
Oh god, Purple
Oh.
lost some DPS because he was shooting at me.
Nice.
Oh my gosh! No one won!
Draw!
It's a dead
Died.
heat.
Draw!
It's
Oh,
a draw.
Dead heat.
that's so rare.
It's so rare. I never see that. Oh my gosh,
I
that is
saw that
incredible.
maybe twice
Oops, I opened the map.
in like 16 years of playing, I might add.
That is so uncommon.
Jake rigged that though, I would
Marathon
like
luck.
to point out, by baiting one guard into shooting him for a few seconds.
Yeah,
So Jake literally just killed someone. I hope he's proud of
I
himself.
rigged it, yeah. I rigged it because Purple normally has the advantage because they have the high ground. So they almost always win.
What's that?
But I did pull some of Purple's DPS away from Red.
That should be a new speedrun category. That dialogue and then that fight.
Convo percent.
100%.
Vote red or blue.
What's that?
No need for alarm.
So we're just gonna
Pass
commit
it.
some senseless acts of violence here. So, we're about to infiltrate the Mechanist's castle, I guess you'd call it.
So, that's the castle of the future.
Well, he does say castle.
I'll take my tenement any day of the week.
I don't think there's really another word for it. Technically, this is called a Dayport Seminary, but
Yeah.
it is more like a showground for the Mechanists because they are trying to get influence and they are trying to sell their shiny bots and technology to the nobles
Right.
of the city. Of course, they have a sinister plot that we are about to uncover.
It's like their way of showing off, basically.
And what he
What a
did right
frog
there
feast.
was a momentum cancel. You can cancel your momentum in this game by basically jumping on an object or dropping an object and then jumping on it while you are falling, and that negates all the momentums, so you're basically starting from zero, which further proves that Garrett is a wizard.
Yes. He defies all time and space.
Yeah, he has the power of osmosis. His hands can grab through solid objects, and he can fly. Quite literally.
So, Karis doesn't even show up for his
He also hates people who read books.
We might get Bertha in the doorway here.
Who's there? Guards! He's over here!
That's a real possibility.
Bertha
No.
is the worst card ever, and she's done it.
Oh
No.
my gosh, this is the most crowded doorway in Civilization.
No Bertha on that door. It's interesting. Basically, who Bertha is a crossbow guard, and Bertha likes standing in that doorway. And unlike a guard that has like a melee weapon, will not back up out of the door if you repeatedly hit her. It's,
Yeah, she has
so
a
you can waste
crossbow.
like 25-30 seconds. Not very good.
I need the guy's key. Why do I
You're
have
also
a mine?
about to meet the most terrifying enemy in this entire game.
Yeah. Easily.
I think it's quite literally the only enemy in the game that can't be killed. If I'm not mistaken.
One thing's for sure.
Yeah, probably.
He's lost his mind.
It's the golden child.
This is Golden Cherub, I think as he's called. Sometimes
Yes.
called Golden Boy. He will run around and alert everyone he can see. But you can't disable him like you could normal bots. He's like a little robot child, and that's super creepy.
Also, you'll see why Jake locked the door behind the Golden Boy shortly. It's a pretty important part of the run.
Oh yes, that's right.
So, yeah, I tried to lock him in the room where he spawns. So, because otherwise he stands in literally the worst place he could possibly stand for a speedrun. He makes you run all the way around this floor again.
Yeah, because he doesn't really take damage, he doesn't flinch, and so he doesn't really move to any other position when he's standing somewhere, and that will completely body block you, and that's a big problem in speedrunning. So let's hope you have the gods of luck on your side this time.
Yeah. Sometimes he can just like, okay, there we go, it worked. Sometimes he could just block the door and make his way to where you don't want him to be. Okay, that was another moment of cancel. Didn't work quite as well, but it worked somewhat.
It broke your fall just enough so you wouldn't get killed. Otherwise, Garrett will get killed from that height.
So I just recently routed this in. This is kind of just like a swag strat. If we just jump off there and momentum cancel, it saves 1 second, and if you miss it, you die. But, you know, gotta go for it.
And it only works if you were very conservative on your frog beast eggs.
Yes, if
Because
you use
usually,
one too many, it work.
well, if I were to run this, I would like throw 2 or 3 of these when canceling the big jump to the basement. Because it's a lot safer if you throw more objects, because there's, you know, obviously the chance is higher for you to cancel your momentum on one of these instead of just throwing one and hoping that you will hit it.
So we just went out of bounds there. There's not too much out of bounds in this game. You can go out of bounds on every single level, like very easily, but it's not useful except in a few select instances.
I think only 2 instances, actually.
Yeah, I think it's exactly 2.
If I follow this road north, it should take me right to the mechanist.
So that's life of the party disposed of.
Also, at the end of that level, the crossbow guard on the roof, she can kill you. And you
Oh
can-
yeah.
Like, you get objective complete, I've actually died to that guard.
If I were Capidor.
Yeah, and if you die, even as the game fades out, if you die at any point, the mission fails, even if you've completed every objective and the game's fading out.
It's a long way up.
And again, cleaning up inventory to make scrolling through easier.
Just getting rid of anything we don't need to make it easier to inventory.
I don't think anyone has needed flares in Thief in Thief 2 in the history of ever. I can think of plenty of instances where you would need it in Thief 1, but never in Thief 2. It's never that dark.
Unless you play on the recommended, like, brightness settings, which is way too dark to see anything.
Even then, I don't think it's that really that dark, but
Yeah,
I guess it depends.
I have my gamma cranked for the purposes of the marathon.
I'm Garrett. Knew I would
Okay,
come.
I tried to circle strafe him a bit there, but it didn't work. I ended up taking a lot of damage.
The wheels seem to be missing a peg.
So what's going on in the story at this point? It doesn't really make much sense, but we're going to hitch a ride aboard a mechanist submarine. Because
But we don't know
reasons.
that yet. Garrett knows it from this point onward.
be the
This
sea
is the
anarchist.
Mechanist submarine, by the
Guess
way.
I'll
It's
sneak aboard and have
the
a
best
look
designed
around.
submarine in the world.
It's quite angular. It's also completely flat on one side.
That's true.
Real
Not the most
submarines of cruise.
dynamic shape. It's the only part where you have to be sneaky in the entire game. So that bot doesn't see you.
It's that shadow. Stop! Take thou no further action.
So right now I'm just running around getting keys that I need later. Oops. Need that one for sure. These guards are kind of random. They're pretty favorable here. I think I'm going to be able to knock them both out.
That's
Very
really good
nice.
luck right there.
Yeah, that's very... It's not very rare, but it's quite uncommon that you're able to knock both of them out.
Both is really uncommon because typically one of those guards is on high alert once you knock one out. That's another like little thing that the mechanists have. They are very aware of their allies, and if you are too close to one while you knock out someone, they will aggro easier than normal guards would for some reason.
So I'm having trouble climbing out of the water there. I was getting shot by the mechanist as I was trying to climb out. That's pretty rough because now I have very little health to deal with the upcoming section, so I think I'm going to rethink my strategy. I've never tried this strategy
You'll definitely
before.
need to knock out the crossbow guard.
Yeah, this might fail terribly, but we're gonna try it.
Who's there? Who goes there?
I just came up with this strategy right now.
Then show thyself.
It's how I deal with this next section. This guy is a problem.
Thou art surely smoke.
Please climb. Thank you.
Okay.
So normally I would use an invis potion here to pickpocket a key off a guy, but I think I'm just gonna shoot him in the face.
Is that thou?
It didn't work. Alright, I'm gonna have to think I'm gonna have to fight.
Friend.
Okay, it worked. This is intended strats. Oh, there is not a lot of room in here.
Ooh.
And I just turned my brightness up because I forgot my F keys don't work. So coming up, I need to collect some supplies for the next mission.
Hold. In Gareth's name, hold.
Will you please move out of the way? Okay.
Thou art
It's very uncommon to come up to that guard.
Yeah,
in your
he's
path.
in a very strange place.
Yeah. Normally, as you drop into the submarine, he is behind you.
Tight fit. I hope it's a short ride.
Right, so this is kidnap. We have
I'm
to,
back in the lost city.
as the title implies,
Should have known.
kidnap the leader of
Guess I'll take
this
the
secret
back door.
project, the Secret Mechanist Project.
Someone there.
He has an added in difficulty, at least if you're playing casually. Since he's afraid of a certain type of monster that was established
This guy
in
makes the
Thief
hammer
1,
sound sane.
he's wearing a gas mask, which means that you can't just shoot a gas arrow at him and knock him out without anybody seeing it. You have to go up to him and knock him out, and that's just a little added difficulty. Not really relevant for the speedrun, but it's very interesting story-wise, because the one person that is afraid of barracks is working in a place that's literally, or used to literally crawl with barracks. It's very, yeah.
It's a very uncommon strat. I don't think you could find your speed potion for a second.
Yeah, I couldn't find it. I thought I didn't have it for a second. And oh my god, I almost fell in the lava. But it's okay. Yeah, I couldn't find the speed potion. I'm so not used to not having hotkeys for these. Ouch. Please climb. There we go. It would make the speedrun a little bit easier if we could use a gas arrow, because we'd be able to knock out all of his bodyguards as well. But alas, that's not an option. So, I'm gonna have to carry him to the exit. Because I can't use items while you're carrying someone, I'm gonna heal up before we get out of here. If I can find my healing potion. And I did.
Where hast thou gone? After him.
If you do this very quickly, you can get out of here before this door automatically closes. We'll see if we get it. Oh, just barely. It also depends on when he's falling over, because one is much faster than the other. That's a lot of damage.
The speedrun in general is eased by the fact that NPCs in generally can't jump. So when you're jumping down somewhere, like I don't know, like that area we just jumped down in, the NPCs will have to take the long way around, because the only thing they can use is stairs. So it's getting a few NPCs off your back, because they will lose your trail easier as well.
What noise, vile criminal?
I think it's actually being used a few times during the run.
There's judgments.
And these guys are actually right behind me, like they're inches behind me, but they can't catch me because I'm moving just fast enough that they can't get in range to attack. So I can just walk to the end with everyone chasing me. And that's only possible because of strafe running. Yeah, so it's definitely on my end, the frame dropping. I'm using a borrowed laptop for this, so it's just going to be not able to encode as well. I think that's the issue, is it's not encoding the frames as quickly as it normally would. Okay, someone want to explain casing? This is the worst mission in the game.
Yeah, so this mission is just casing the joint, literally just casing the next mission, as far as I'm aware. And basically in this mission you cannot alert a guard, you cannot make any noise, you can't get in a fight or altercation with a guard, or else the mission will instantly fail. If you step on marble surface once inside the mansion, I believe it fails you instantly.
Yes.
I believe if you throw a flash bomb in front of a guard, it will fail you instantly. Which makes less sense when you think that the game automatically gives you like 3 flash bombs in this mission. So yeah, this is by far the cruelest mission in the game, speedrun-wise. But this is actually going pretty well. I think you got the first time jump.
You can fail from pretty much anything in this mission, and it comes 60 minutes or 50 minutes into the run, so one small mistake and your run's over.
And I think we were seeing the first and only use of the noisemaker arrow in this mission.
No, second, I think in Tracing the Courier, he uses it for the pagan.
Oh yeah, there's
And this
one other
end
use.
of level, this end of level trigger can be activated just by sitting on the window ledge, just like
You
that.
also fail the mission if you fall out of that window.
Yeah, if you fall out,
it doesn't kill you if you're on full health, but it will fail you.
Yeah,
it
because
just
the
makes
guard
a
that's
louder
behind
noise.
the door will hear you, and since you can't alert any guards to your presence, other than noisemaker arrows, it's hard.
So here this guy's walking the hallway, but if you hit him, he'll just back up. It's really no issue at all. The issue are the ones that will not back up when you do that.
Where'd you come from? I want a piece of you.
So we're just casually robbing an art gallery in the middle of this guy's house. Taking a lot of damage, but we get a lot of health potions in this mission, so I'm not overly worried.
So, in case you're wondering, Garrett is not really doing that on a whim because he needs to pay his rent again. Story-wise, it's because in the last few missions, he found out that the mechanists are having some sort of plot to basically kill every living thing in the city by use of that rust gas that we may or may not have established in the eavesdropping mission. I don't recall. Anyways, that is the super secret weapon they use, and it is distributed by masks that are on servants, and they will emit a gas. And the reason we are stealing masks is to trying to find out how to use it. Also, he's trying to blow up a door, but it doesn't work.
It's not cooperating right now. So these frog beast eggs, the frog beasts are supposed to explode. Are you kidding me? Right, well, one hit should open it. There we go. Oh, I just wasted some frog beast eggs. Okay. It's okay. I have a backup. So I accidentally forgot to unequip those. But there's a way we can get out. There's a secret passage. It's a little slower, but it's nice that we have that option.
So normal intended strats there are to use 2 frog beast eggs on the first door, which Shake was trying to do. Then you have 3 left, so you can use 2 on the other double doors instead of using the secret passage. And then you have 1 left for the end of the mission, which you need.
Yeah, this run is, this level in particular is extremely optimized. We use absolutely every resource we have available to open doors quicker. We use every single frog beast egg, every single fire arrow. Oops. I was actually close enough to pick up that map.
Yeah, you're dropping frames really badly right now.
So these mech beasts are going to shoot the hell out of me right now, but it's not too much of an issue. Flash bombs will stun them. For a long time, actually. And that's masks. So we're on to the last mission in the game. And there's a relatively new glitch here that allows us to activate a speed potion and then keep it active permanently. Which I'm going to try and pull off right now, which is going to be hard because I don't know my hotkeys.
Is it 7.5 seconds after? That's when you pick.
Yeah.
You save a quick load. Yeah.
So, yeah, the glitch worked. It basically just
is
causes
unique
your
to this
potion
mission,
stick.
by the way. We haven't found a way to make it happen in other missions.
Okay. I was able to
level
deceive
dodging.
those bots by just whipping my mouse.
That was some nice strafe running.
So, right now, we're beating the final, so to speak, by building a device which will turn his plan against him. We don't actually know how to build this device, but luckily I can just complete the device and then figure out how to do it later, how to build it later.
Since Garrett is a wizard, he already knows how to use heavy machinery, you know, just like that.
This strange technology that he's never seen before.
Exactly.
No problem.
Technically, we're
Oops.
supposed to break into an office and then get some blueprints that explain it, just so you don't get confused. But since
Yeah,
we don't
actually...
really need that, it's completely optional, technically. Because you can just use the machinery even if you don't technically know how to use them yet.
Yeah, getting the blueprints for what we're about to build is actually the last thing we do in the game. The very last thing. So this is the trickiest part of this level, at least. I'm going to be using new strats that I actually didn't get a chance to practice. So that's going to be... We'll see how it turns out. Let's see, I need to throw this in here. Throw that in there. Oops. This shot is kind of hard. As you can see, that worked. It worked. I've actually never done that before. I forgot that we found that strat when I was practicing, so I didn't actually get a chance to try it.
I found that by accident.
So we drop these parts in here and then do it again. It would have been faster if I hadn't fallen, but... Oops, I did not...
The reason this is faster is because normally you have to shoot a vine arrow there, like, which can be quite specific and can waste time if you don't get it. Other than that, there is a way you can jump like in the middle of the two terminal platforms. But it's quite a bit slower.
I really dislike this spacebar. There we go.
So that is Beatty. Beatty is like one of the hardest parts of this mission.
Oops, I don't know if this is bad or not. Oh, okay, I actually cannot grab that from here, apparently. Will you climb out? Oh my gosh. Oh my, that is a lot of damage.
Yeah, it just goes to show this is like one of the hardest rooms in the game, as said earlier. Just for the fact that there are 3 or 4 combat bots, 2 humanoids, and 2 little worker bots that will instantly alert everyone around it, so it can get very, very crowded in there. And of course, since they are shooting bombs, it's even more dangerous.
Assuming the blueprints didn't leave anything out, this thing has to do the trick.
So, Garrett says, assuming the blueprints didn't leave anything out, this should do the trick. I mean, we haven't seen the blueprints yet, but you say so. I'm actually going to get the extra health for safety. Probably won't need it, but you never know.
And coming up is the gate glitch, where you can actually lean through a gate to trigger it from the other side. It's very simple, frame of reference for this is the fan on the wall. So it just needs to be closer, I think.
I need to be a little closer. Oops. It's hard because you have to click the lean button while you are still running. And oh, there we go. So there we go, we've installed the beacon. And now we have to switch over these sensor towers.
Well, if Karis has any way to detect what I'm doing, I'll know soon.
The so-called masked servants will be called to this cathedral instead, and since this is supposedly airtight, the gas will only, well, technically it will only kill Karis because it has been established that he's the only living thing that is actually in there. Everything else is robots.
Sabotage. I don't think he knows.
So I do the slightly riskier thing here, where I hit the switch before killing that bot. If that bot doesn't die, he will block your only way out, and it's run over. So he cannot see you. Yeah, that arrow speed. The fire arrows are not subjected to gravity for whatever reason. So they can move really, really slow. So I'm hitting the elevator so that they're part of the way down before I actually start dropping down the shaft. It actually saves a huge amount of time on this level because the elevators are so long.
This is the longest one that you're on now, I think.
Yeah.
By far.
So, the rest of this level... Oh, hello. That's an unusual place for him to be. Spider Boss!
Oh, Spider Boss!
The spider is the weakest enemy, I think, in the entire game. Oh my god, he's fast, though.
He's relentless, that's his thing.
I'm pretty sure those can only do 1 damage, no matter how they hit you.
I've lost like 8 or 9 health to the spider before. Like if they hit you dead like directly with the speed potion, it will do a lot of damage. It can't kill you instantly though. Did some experiments.
I think it's because sometimes they can do shotgun saw blades. Sometimes they shoot 3 or 4 of these instead of just 1. That's probably the reason. I've been killed by these before as well.
I would explain it, yeah. Oh, hello. That's a little bit dangerous. Oh. So one thing is that damage is based on momentum. So if I'm running towards a bot, it's going to do more damage than if I'm running away from it. And running towards the bot with infinite speed potion is a 100% kill from full health, no matter how much health you have, what difficulty you're on, anything just kills you right away. And that's run over, if that happens.
What you saw earlier when he went through that little window, that is only possible on the new Dark engine, you know, the engine revamp from 2012 or 13. Usually the developers, I guess, thought it was a good idea just to bait you with a little window that you can't actually climb through. Well, guess what? Now you can climb through and you don't have to go all the way around. So...
This mission changed a lot, like in speedrun terms, once the speed potion glitch was found. Like, it cut so much time off the end time.
That's true.
I think it was like maybe 11.5 minutes was a good time. I could be wrong on that.
Yeah.
And now, like, you can get sub 9 times pretty easily.
It used to be 15 or something, 2009.
In 2004, my PB in this game was like 1 hour, 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's about right. Coming
So
up on
here
the
we
record
are,
office.
picking up the blueprints. There, so now we know how to stop the bad guy's evil plot. I mean, we've already done it, but now we know for sure that
It's
it'll
critical
work.
that we have that blueprint so we know how to build the beacon that we already built.
Yeah.
Pretty massive.
Just confirmation that you did your homework correctly.
Yeah.
All those engineering classes
That's
were
all
not
it is.
wasted on Garrett.
That's all it is.
Coming
Also,
up
the
on
end
time.
of this mission, you
Yeah,
can
we're coming
die.
up on time right now. So, time ends when the game fades out. And time.
GG.
GG. So, yep, that was
GG.
Thief 2. Unfortunately, I don't think I have an ending cutscene for you because it will not play on this computer. It just refuses to play. Yep, we get you sent straight to the main menu. So, yep, that's it. That was Thief 2. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Up next, we're gonna have Mr. Nuts by Le Hulk. Another very memey run. So, good luck, and everyone. Thanks for everyone who donated. And thanks for having me.
And
Glad
thank you
we
for
could
having
have
me as
you.
well.
Alright, as I said, we've got Mr. Nuts by La Hulk coming up. We're going to swap restreamers real quick, and then we'll be right back.